Hi everyone, it's Jazz again. It's the West Ham Irons channel. It's another special show. Yeah, we've got Freiburg away in the Europa, our second game of the group. So Freiburg from Germany sitting in 7th, 8th place. They also won their first game. They beat Olympiacos 3-2 away, which was a very, very impressive display. And they're doing about the same as us in their own respective league. So yeah, top 7, top 8, going to be a very, very hard team. They were the team that came out the third pot, so I think we got the toughest team in the third pot. And Olympiacos, big name, that's not going to be easy. We won our first game against the weakest team in the group. Made a little bit of a hard work of it. We were kind of 1-0 down, if you remember. Then yeah, comfortably came through that at home, really. But this show, yep, you could see it on the screen. It's a Jazz Moan show again. It's Danny Ings. And what I wanted to show you before I really get into it is, first of all, thank you for all the response I'm getting for the West Ham special shows. I mean, you might not know the history about me, but I used to have a channel before this that I kind of, for one reason or another, kind of finished after about a year. Then I started this one again about a year and a half ago or longer. And then I had a 4-month break in the summer. Things just got too busy for me at work and things like that. And now I'm back. I've been back about a month, 2 months, and I'm here to stay. And literally, hopefully the subscribers are coming back. You can see that. And just wanted to thank you for everyone wishing me well since I've been back. And the support has been unbelievable, including these special shows. So I get it that you like these special shows. You like Jazz's opinion. You like my in-depth analysis. So I'm going to be busting these out very, very regularly alongside my usual match reviews. And other things we do on the channel, really. So so big thank you for all of you. Subscribe if you haven't. I want to hit that 2,000 subs ASAP, because I am running a little bit behind schedule where I want to be in terms of subs, really. So Danny Ings, he joined us in January from Villa for around about 15 million, if you remember. And straight away, I did a special show. Let me see where my finger is. I did a special show. I will put a link to this show in the description so you can watch it. And in it, I again explain the West Ham system for Danny Ings. Very, very special player. Very, very unique player. A player from the old school strikers, the Tony Cottis, comes alive in the box when you give him a good delivery and when you've got a partner next to him. So in that example in the video, I have suggested a 3-4-1-2 system. But again, the emphasis I put on Danny Ings was you need him in a 2 up front system. You cannot play him by himself, especially the age he's at now. It's kind of towards the end of his career than rather being a 21, 22-year-old who might be able to play up front, run himself into the ground down the channels, the things Moyes expects from his strikers. But what you cannot do, like Chicharito and a couple of players before that, you cannot bring him into our club and play 1 up front. And that's what David Moyes has been doing, right? So even when you look at his kind of record at other clubs, you can see that at Burnley, 43 goals, 130 games. That's kind of nearly a goal every 3 games. Southampton, absolutely brilliant. 46 goals, 100 games. That's nearly a 1 in 2. Villa, he got a little bit less because he became a sub. And the couple of managers before kind of Emery at the moment, they try to do similar thing to Moyes, play him up front, play him down the wing. It just didn't work. And at West Ham, 3 goals in 29. You can clearly see everyone. You've not really got the most out of him. And in Europa, we've seen 1 or 2 games, right? Even last season. Complete waste, complete shit show playing Danny Ings up front on his own. I do not want that tonight. This is going to be a tough game tonight. And what I'm hearing is that Antonio has picked up some kind of muscle injury, so he's not going to travel. I don't think he would have travelled anyway, right? And again, that puts the emphasis, why didn't we buy a striker similar to Antonio that can play up front? It's a long season. We're in all the cups still, including Carabao Cup. And when Antonio doesn't play, That one up front system does not work. I do not want Bowen up front on his own. I do not want Kudus up front on his own. I do not want Danny Ings up front on his own. It just does not work. It's a complete waste, right? And then you're not going to get the best out of Kudus either. I keep mentioning that. He's come to this club with on confidence, highly rated, but he joins West Ham, doesn't get picked, confidence dwindles slowly. Then when you do bring him on, you take Antonio off, there's no striker. And then when you bring on Kudus or you play Kudus in these Europa games, he's got Danny Ings up front. Danny Ings does not offer nothing to Kudus or any of the attackers behind. Danny Ings is not going to run down the channel. So that Kudus could find him. Danny Ings is not going to play 1-2s with Kudus. Danny Ings is not going to lay it off in return to Kudus to come into the box and have a couple of shots. He does not offer anything. And even from Ward-Prowse's set pieces, I don't think Danny Ings has got the height to get on the end of those. Danny Ings is at best when he's 1 of 2. And then he makes those late runs into the box. But what happened in the last Europa game, like typical David Moyes instructions, Danny Ings spent most of the game outside the penalty area, chasing after lost causes, running down the channels, defending and doing all that kind of shit I hate, which means you never have anyone in the box. It's ridiculous. Even in that Sheffield United game, we're 2-0 up. Let's get more goals on the board. We played the last 15 minutes with no striker. It was like a 4-2-4-0 or 4-3, whatever. No one up front, right? Bowen was outside the box. Kudus was outside the box. Absolutely balmy. Regarding Mubama, Moyes' comments are that he's only 18, 19. He's got a lot of time ahead. I want to throw him in this game. He ain't going to have a look in, right? But what I've seen of him, in time, as he gets bigger and stronger physically, he could perhaps play up front by himself, really. So what a lot of people are asking is, what is the David Moyes B plan? I mean, Benrahma's obviously, I think he's come to a point where he has to leave now. He hasn't had the greatest relationships with David Moyes. Moyes has that issue where he cannot manage some players, right? Some players that are struggling out of form, they're struggling to kind of accept his ideas. Moyes gives them a cold shoulder and they're gone more often than not, really. So Benrahma, he's at fault as well. He's out of form. Some games last year, even though he had a decent run, in the big games, in the really big games, he goes missing, doesn't do enough, right? So that issue will always be there. Probably play today, but if you're going to play Danny Ings up front, I don't want him playing up front. And because you got no other choices, it's because you didn't go into the market to buy that person that would happily play up front on his own and then can kind of hold it, can bring the other team into it, that kind of thing, right? It has not happened, right? And Moyes has got to be at blame, right? We had a lot of money, we had the budget, we flew out and had those discussions with El Nesri and 1 or 2 others, and for one reason or another, once again, at the 3rd, 4th time of signing someone like El Nesri, it just didn't happen, right? You remember when we bought Scamacca, the previous couple of windows, we didn't have any strikers again. So he comes in after the Hallard mess up, and since Scamacca's gone, we don't have a striker again, and that's a couple of windows gone again. There's no excuse for that. You've seen my video on Bowen. I think Bowen's on the way out. He'll be gone in this window, the window after. So we've got to start thinking of life after Bowen. That means prioritising Kudus in his best position. You've surely watched Kudus as a scout, like Danny Ings, so you know where he plays, his best position, what he's happy with, right? And then you brought him in knowing that he can replicate that in that kind of position. But what we're doing is we're trying to mould these players, force them into formations, that one fucking formation, 4-2-3-1. These players are not happy to play it, right? And it's just pissing me off now. It's just ridiculous, and it's either that or kind of Kudus and Moyes signing, and he's just being stuck up again. And it's going to be another sort of high value signing. 30-40 million goes down the bank. I mean, can you blame the owners now if this is happening every other window where your key signing is just not being used, and then you have to flog him out and take a 10 million hit on it every window? It's ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous now. The alarm bells are ringing for me. Danny Ings, I think Everton were very close to signing him last window. His ex-manager, Deitch, obviously knew how to get the best out of him, how to use him, perhaps was going to play him next to Calvin Lewin as an example. So for me, you've got to play 2 up front tonight. But the issue we got, like you said, he doesn't want to play Mubamu. Antonio's his kingpin. Antonio can't play every single game, so he's not playing tonight. Ings cannot play up front by himself. So what do you do? At a minimum, you're going to have to stick Bowen up front with him, or you're going to have to stick Kudos with him, or something. I don't get the money to make those decisions, but what I do know is you can't play him up front. You've got to play two up front, or play 4-3-3 at a minimum. You know, the three right next to, he's not isolated, so he's got Bowen and Kudos next to him. Perhaps that could work. But what I don't want to see is 4-2-3-1 or Danny Ings up front. That's going to fucking piss me off. But we're not going to get anything. We're not going to get anything out of that, especially in the attacking field. And the ball is not going to stick to Ings. It's going to keep coming back. So for me, watch the first video that I did back in January explaining about Danny Ings, how you've got to have a system where two people play up front with him, right? And let me know in the comments what you think. I'm sure 99% fans will agree with me. Why did we buy Ings? Why have we used him like Chicharito? Money down the drain. And again, you got to balance your views. You know, it's so easy to have a go at the board. David Sullivan not giving me enough money, or he's kept most of the money after selling Rice. He has not. But when you look at what we've done with Haller, what the managers have done with Skamaka, and things like that, and even Danny Ings, I mean, listen, even though it's 15 million, it might not sound to you in terms of a transfer fee, it might not sound a lot. Listen, when you look at the agent fees, the add-on fees, the signing-on fees, the salaries, the bonuses, it's a lot of money that the whole deal will cost the club. And you got to give a bit of, if I was the owner and my manager kept doing this, I would have to question it and say, listen, mate, Danny Ings, mate, he's not a David Moyes player. He's not strong, he's not big, he's not good at set pieces, he's not going to hold it out. Why are you bringing in Danny Ings for? Because you only play one system. I get it if you had more than one system and you had players to fit that system, but you don't do it. So it's kind of a bit weird, and it's pissing me off. And important game today. Important that we get at least a draw away out of this game. It's a tough competition in Europa. You've seen that. And even more when I look at the Champions League groups, I can already see the quality that's going to drop down from there. Some big clubs out there, as you know. So that's it. That's my special show today. I really wanted to kind of put it out there that, yeah, this is the thing that's bugging me at the moment, is just wasting time with Danny Ings and other players. And it's come to a point then. But listen, I'm weighing it up. Listen, I know we've done well with overall Souček, Kafal, Rice, all those people coming in, good signings. And I've got high hopes for Alvarez. Kudos I'm worried about, but it's not all to do with him. It's to do with a lot of other things, how we use him and how we put the emphasis on these people to track back and defend, rather than allowing them to express themselves and really show their skill and entertain fans. And then you can defend as well, of course you can. But with Moyes, as soon as a skillful player like Benrahma or Kudos or someone like that is signed, you can see that the flow that they had prior to signing to West Ham is curtailed, it's limited, it's blocked. And then all you see is, watching the game, especially high up in the stands where I watch it, it's no one ever fucking in the box. And then we're at home, and even you're at home and you've got no one in the box. I've seen teams like Villa, Newcastle, Spurs, home or away, when they're attacking, there's always 3-4 players arriving in the box. It's good for the fans to see that. And what do we see? Bowen's got the ball running down the wing, and Tony's having an ice cream in the corner flag somewhere else. There's no one in the box. Then we have to stop and wait till the old boys catch up on the bus. It just fucks me off. Now we got Kudos, young player, skillful player, really exciting player. Give him the ball, play him in those attacking positions. Let's see him split defences, take past 3, 4, 5 people like we did at Sheffield United, set things up, get fans off their seats. But what we're going to see tonight is Danny Ings up front by himself. Kudos won't even go in the box. He'll be busy defending, because we've got shit fullbacks and people like that. It just fucks me off. I hope I'm wrong. Listen, I'm more than happy to be proved wrong and admit that on the following show. But please, Mr. Moyes, if you do have to play Danny Ings up front, it's not right, and it's your fault you haven't got another backup, mate. It's fucking been going on for too long, man. I'm sick of it, and you can't expect Bowen to do things like that. It's just fucking mad. But anyway, that's it for me. I will be back straight away after the full-time whistle tonight with my match review, so watch out for that, and I'll catch up with you later. Have a great evening, everyone. And yeah, we'll catch up this evening, and hopefully, that's what David Moyes gets paid for. And I'll be watching that formation. I'll be interested to see what happens. But yeah, we'll catch up later on tonight. Take care.